Here's what you missed on the Dessie show.
Thank you so much for coming on to the Dessie show.
No problem.
Yeah, I know we connected back in the day when you were working on the Flat Out of Heels and the Walmart situation and things like that. So so much has happened since we first connected.
So much.
Yeah, and so I know we don't always communicate, but I've definitely been admiring you and your work from afar, and like, oh, that's dope. Like, and so
Thank you.
I launched this platform around the time, right after the pandemic started, and so I've been able to get, so many amazing guests and business people such as yourself, and so that's why I wanted to have you on the show. So I really appreciate you and your team for making it happen.
Thank you for having me. I'm just looking forward to chatting.
Yeah. So for those who may not know who you are, please tell them who you are and what it is that you do.
Yeah, my name's Dawn Dickson. I am a serial entrepreneur. Been an entrepreneur for 20 years. I have a company called Flat Out of Heels still, which is rollable flats for women when their feet hurt in heels. And then I also have my company PopCom, which is a technology company. We built software for self-service retail, so for vending machines and kiosks.
Yeah. So so please take me back to the beginning of your journey into being a serial entrepreneur, because as I've said, I knew you for one thing, but then I started to hear about these other ventures as well. So just talk about it in the beginning. Was it entrepreneurship something that you always wanted to do?
I definitely was an entrepreneurial kid. So I was always doing something, back then it was just called like different hustles. But I started my first company in 2001 called The Urban Star. It was an online media platform and event platform to let people know what was going on in Central Ohio, where I'm from. And we made our money from online advertising and email blasts in the very early days of digital marketing. So, I go way back in digital marketing. That's kind of my expertise, I would definitely say, and that's also like my passion. I love marketing. I'm a marketer, but found myself being a CEO. Definitely think that just building teams, business development is also a strength.
Yeah. So yeah, and I don't think I knew that at all about the digital marketing, the e-blast and things like that. That's kind of how I started in the business as well, from throwing events and kind of when that first started, it was like a whole wave of like people that really didn't know, when it went from passing out flyers for events, things like that, and then when it switched over, like people didn't realize the importance of having an email address for somebody.
Right. Definitely.
And like even whether it's a nightlife event or a networking event or whatever it is that it may be, just having those having that information and that data and being able to say, you know what, it's free, but it's only free if you RSVP. So therefore I'd have your
That's how you get that, build your list. Exactly.
So I'd have your name, your phone number, the industry you work in, your email address, everything. And so and so from going from there, how did you come up with the concept? And I know I'm skipping around a little bit, but was going from there to maybe something like a Flat Out of Heels. How did that kind of go?
Between that business and Flat Out, holding my phone. I should have sat it on something. I wasn't thinking ahead. I had a consulting company and I still have it. I started my consulting business in 2015, so it's going on still since 2015. But as a consultant, I work with a lot of different companies and brands, and I did a lot of events, event planning, event coordinating as a part of under my consulting company umbrella. And as a consultant, I would spend a lot of time at events, and I've seen women walking barefoot, or obviously I wore heels a lot and my feet hurt. And I was really interested in starting a consumer product. I had never launched my own consumer products brand. And just as entrepreneurs, it's something that I wanted to try to do and launch a product, bring a product to market. And that's how Flat Out of Heels came about, mainly because I wanted a solution to what I say a solution to stiletto sore feet. And I didn't see one on the market that met the needs that I had of as far as being stylish and durable and not cheap and cheesy looking or flimsy or you know, I wanted to bring a product that was really durable to market and fashionable. And so I did that in 2011. And the idea was to sell the flats in vending machines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got into the vending business, selling my own shoes in vending machines in places like Atlanta Airport and Club Live in Miami and a few other places, Bayside Marketplace, MGM Grand Casino.
Yeah. But and that was the thing when I believe Alicia Reese, my homegirl, she connected us, and when she told me about the concept, it was like, man, because I've been doing events forever, and you know it's always women want to wear the stylish heels, but
Yeah.
sometimes they hurt, and you know, and I know a lot of women who no matter what they do not want to walk barefoot. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah, definitely not.
And so it's just like, okay, well, what in that situation do you do? Do you have some flats in with you that might be a little bulky or whatever? So I love the concept, and it's always like, not to say it's a simple concept, but it's like the simplest things in life,
Yeah.
or like, you know, that people don't think about. You know, we're always trying to have these ideas that are, you know, just out of this world, but it's
Yeah.
like, no, the simple ideas within life and an everyday, you know, an everyday thing are the ones that really blow up, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Just things that are practical, things that are timeless, and things that no matter what technology they create, your feet are going to still hurt in heels. It's just nothing you can do to hack that. So it's, you know, that's why we're going on our 10th year in business now. It'll be 10 years in April. So, you know, it's exciting to have a company that's been around 10 years. Well, and then my consulting company been around 2005. So that's 15. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah. And then talk about taking that concept and going into a vending machine, because I've started to see more people kind of going that route. Of course, you've seen hair vending machines. I'm doing some work with a company now that's going to, they're doing like prepaid cell phones in the vending machines. And so we're kind of working through some things with that concept now. So just talk about taking your flat out of heels concept and going into vending machines.
I just think that vending is a great direct to customer distribution channel that is not really taken advantage of like it could be. I mean, I think the main reason is because of the lack of technology and data collection capabilities for this type of hardware, which is what PopCom, my company, does, is build software to make these machines smarter. But really, just my thing was, when women's feet hurt, they don't have time to wait for something to get shipped to them, go to the store. You know, it's on demand. And I think that more business owners are starting to realize that vending is a viable distribution channel for on demand products, or to be where your customer needs them the most.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something called last mile delivery, just something to help close that last mile, which means
Yeah.
between getting it shipped, you know, to the hands of the customer, which Amazon has perfected last mile delivery with Prime and with lockers. But what about everybody else? And so
Yeah.
PopCom really closes that gap and allows other retailers to be able to deliver the speed of Amazon by using automated retail like lockers and vending machines.
Yeah. So going forward, from the flat out of heels into the vending, how did you come up with the concept to get the data, you know, the data collection part?
I mean, my background is technology, so I went to school for IT in 2000, so it kind of tells you how old I am. But so I've always been in tech or tech-enabled businesses, and always looked for a solution using technology to improve on existing, you know, things that are happening. So I knew that technology could help to solve these challenges that I was having around data collection and remarketing, retargeting, re-engaging my customer base, and just being able to bring them into my sales funnel the same way that you do on e-commerce. And so I just really started brainstorming about what technology could be applied to this type of hardware to make it smarter, and concluded that using facial recognition was a good way to understand what's happening in front of and around the vending machines and kiosks to get just better data around customer behavior and traffic patterns. And so this facial recognition was pretty new for consumer use. It was obviously government, and it was more enterprise, but now for about that. People keep calling me, but so it was pretty new, and it wasn't mass adoption yet, but now it is. So it's really a good time because of things like Instagram and Snapchat. People, everyday consumers are comfortable with facial recognition. They use it all the time on their phones every day, and so it helped to kind of normalize it and make people more comfortable.
Yeah. So you mentioned with facial recognition how the government have been using it and things like that. So talk about working through, because I know you've had this company for a little while. So talk about working through that, because at first it seems like with facial recognition, people were so worried about the government having that, the use of that technology and things like that. But now it's like it's on your iPhone. You know what I mean? So it's just part of every life.
I mean, PopCom, we don't take any customers' actual facial. We don't take any identifying information. So we don't store the face or take a picture of the face. But I think everyone, especially like the generation, the younger generations, are just kind of used to the concept of there is really no privacy. I mean, it's never really been privacy, but now it's just out in the open. Like, you know, there's cameras everywhere you go. Obviously TVs and phones, and data breaches constantly, which is something that people are trying to solve that. But it's I think it's just very normalized now. Before it wasn't, and people are comfortable with it. But there's no real privacy in this country. PopCom doesn't violate any privacy, or PopCom doesn't take information, but many other sources do.
Yeah. For sure. And talk about the emergence of PopCon from the standpoint of, I know you raised quite a bit of money, and how that process kind of worked.
PopCom is a tech company. It's very tech heavy, and we also work with hardware and software. So the development time and development costs was very extensive, in the millions. And so we knew that we had to raise money to be able to build the product. So we're even early revenue. We haven't even launched the product yet. Literally been building product literally for 3 years. And so the fundraising process, obviously, it wasn't all at once. I mean, over 4 rounds of funding over the past, since 2017, we've raised 3.3 million. And, we still have to raise more capital, because businesses that are very capital intensive, like building a whole software platform from scratch. And we have one patent that was awarded recently and another patent pending. It's a lot, it takes a lot to really get it to market, but the scalability and the revenue potential is very high, since it's a software product. SaaS, software as a service, is one of the most scalable types of businesses that you can get into, which was, over my career as an entrepreneur, I've done a lot of things, and I never built software. So I'm always looking to challenge myself and do something I've never done before, and innovate and disrupt an industry that I can do. So I think it all finally just aligned after years of working on it.
Yeah, and I recently saw where was it a merger, or did PopCom acquire? Which one? How did that work?
We acquired a company called Wiser, which is essentially gamified survey company, a real competitor to SurveyMonkey, and then Google Forms. Just giving a gamified something people would complete. They're experiencing. You can answer, I believe, 25 questions in 60 seconds, and experiencing an 80% completion rate, which is extremely high in the market research field. So we were already using Wiser in our POS for surveys after the purchase.
Yeah.
And it just made sense to bring that technology underneath our stack and own more of our stack, our technology stack, which is what makes our product, and be able to, have a revenue generating products right away, since the PopCom Pop Shop is still in production.
Yeah, that's I was really excited for you all when I saw that one pop up. I'm like, okay, that like because I know I've been seeing PopCom be rolled out in such a way for so long, and just seeing the fact that you were able to acquire Wiser, it's like, okay, all right, like I see the direction that the company is going. I see
Yeah.
how it's and is Wiser, is that minority owned? Was that minority owned as well?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
The founder was three founders. One, Natasha, she's Indonesian, and then two gentlemen were black men. So it was great to bring that under our umbrella, true diversity.
Yeah, and talk about that with everything that's going on. It's great that you have that diversity within your company, just already going in, of course, but being able to acquire another company that had diversity going on as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I love the fact that black woman owned company because black women have never gotten their fair share, and to see you all shining and thriving in such a way is really good to see. I have a daughter that's 4, so it's like I love being able to show examples such as yourself. As she gets older, I can show like, yo, look, it's in technology, it's in this space, it's not all just in entertainment, not all just in sport
Definitely.
or whatever. So talk about being an early adopter and being a black woman in this space.
Well, like I said, I've been in tech for now almost 20 years. And initially I got into tech just to strengthen my job skills. I mean, I was coming out from getting my undergraduate degree in marketing and journalism, and I wanted just more technology skills. I seen the way that things were going. And it's just important for all of us to have technology skills and understand the fundamentals of how to operate things in general. So that's how I got into it. And at the time, I didn't pay attention to that there wasn't other people that looked like me. There wasn't representation, but it didn't discourage me. I personally don't need to see anybody that looks like me for me to know I can do it, but a lot of people do. So that's why representation is really important. But for me, it was just like, it opened up a new way of thinking, ways that you could really make change and impact lives through technology. And I continue to study tech for all these years, whether it's going through programs like Techstars and just staying on top of like the latest trends in technology. But back to the question about being a black woman, I mean, it's like a hot topic right now about black women, how much we normally raise, the average check size $36,000, or that black women raise, or that black women don't get VC funding. But those things are definitely changing now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of peers that have raised millions of dollars, much more than I have, that are generating millions of dollars in revenue, much more than I'm doing. So I'm still working. I'm certainly not at the pinnacle or peak of where I'm going. I'm really feel like I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
But I do think that because of the hard work that people before me and even myself have put in, it's making doors a little bit easier to open and tables a little bit more accessible to sit at. And that'll continue to change. I don't like to focus on statistics that are negative about black women.
Yeah.
I think that we've heard that enough. There's a lot of successes we should celebrate. And there's many other black women. I'm not the only one. If you just just Google it, how many there are that are really making an impact. So let's just stop talking about that things are hard for black women, because we can do anything.
Yeah, and I just noticed I know some people that work over at Streamalytics, and they have been they just raised over $1 million very quickly. Back. Yeah. So I'm supposed to have Arisha Smith on probably in the next week or two, because
Nice.
she's a good friend of mine, and her and I both work for Tom Joyner together. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then
Invested, and Angela's a friend of mine, but I certainly invested. I was really happy to have the opportunity to invest in a company that I believe is going to be really, really big.
For sure. And talk about how you've been, staying motivated and working through the pandemic because, so much has been affected, but I feel like in some industries, they will kind of, you're able to kind of still work through it based on
Yeah.
the fact that maybe like technology.
I love to share. I mean, I'm always about like sharing the good side of things. So we all hear every single day, if you watch the news, about the statistics or the deaths or the virus and the businesses and the unemployment. But on the flip side, a lot of people are doing well. I was having this conversation today with a friend about, she said her business has grown exponentially. And I know many people whose businesses have grown exponentially during this time. And so, they say, and it's a fact, that billionaires and millionaires are made during depressions and downturns in the economy, which is a great time to take advantage of low interest rates or new opportunities or things that shift. I mean, new markets are being made. PPE is a thing. People making fashionable masks. This time last year, nobody's wearing a mask. Now people want fashionable masks. So I'm saying this to say that it's a great time to double down on you and
Yeah.
what you believe in. And it's a great time to, invest and start that business or take that class or jump out, because it's like, shit, what else you got to lose? We just be healthy. But for us, I mean, my business has grown exponentially as well. We raised over $1 million right in the middle of the pandemic when it just started, like when people were thinking it was about to be martial law, and we
Right.
still raised the money and got new customers and hired team members, launched a restaurant that's doing well. Flat Out just did a big promotion with DSW. My consulting business has picked up tremendously because now I'm not traveling around as a speaker. And I was kind of upset about that because I love the travel and I love the, making the money that I made as a
Yeah.
speaker. But now I make really good money speaking virtually from Zoom. Don't even
Yeah.
have to leave my house. So I love that. So I think it's just a way that you think about things. If you think about it as, it's a negative time and the world's going crazy, well, that's what the experience you're going to have. But if you look at it as this opportunity, it's time for
Yeah.
me to go within and focus on myself. Or, I've been in the gym more than I ever been. Well, it's been like 2 years since I worked out the way I'm working out right now. So I'm really happy about that. So I just want everybody to think of things you can do to enhance your life and just forget about all the noise. It's constant noise, constant do this, do that, don't do this, go in, go out, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, take a
Yeah.
vitamin, take a drink, Clorox. I mean, just really trust yourself and do what you know is right for you, because your intuition can guide you there. And Kim asked about the restaurant. It's a vegan restaurant, plant-based vegan restaurant, and it's in Columbus, Ohio, and started it with a few friends. And it's a restaurant startup, so it's new, and we're learning as we go. But it's doing well. It's doing really well, and it met a need in the community. And people are still eating every day, no matter what's going on. People are still eating every day.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's always important, even if you're not in the industry of technology. And it's like at the end of the day, it's like hustlers go figure it out, whether it's corporate
Exactly.
hustle, whatever it is. Like you go figure out how to pivot. I do a lot of marketing and events and things like that, and it's like, you know what? I'm finna pivot. We go into media, because
Yeah,
I
or
have.
go to Hop-In. I mean, I've done about 7 Hop-In conferences in the past couple of months, and it's thousands of people can gather virtually, and it really closes the gap in the barrier of access and entry for people who previously could not take off work or had the money to travel to go to a conference. Now they can go to these conferences virtually. Now they can connect with people virtually. And I think actually it's going to look back at this, and it was a really good time for us, because it actually is bringing us closer, and not just social media and superficially closer, but actually closer, where we can have access to information that a lot of people were shut out of before.
Yeah, and people, right now people are checking their emails more. They are checking the DMs. Like you can slide in people's DMs now, and like they are,
I said it's sliding the DM. That's what you've been doing during the COVID, sliding
but
the
business sense, not in a
DM.
normal sense, in the business sense.
Well, that's how I met my husband. He slid in my DM and we got married. So you never know. So
Hey, I guess it worked, right?
it
So,
worked.
yeah. How long have you been married? Congratulations.
I got married in March. So
Oh, so
again, I raised money during the pandemic. I got married right in the middle of
oh,
everything shut down.
your best
So
life
I'm having a great year. Personally, I'm having a great year.
That's
So
great. Yeah, me and my wife just celebrated 5 years in June. So yeah,
congratulations.
but that's really great. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good.
let me see if I saw a question in here. Black folks. Oh, okay, that wasn't a question. They were just making a comment. Shout out to Kim. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. A couple of things I want to touch on before I get you out of here. I don't want to take up too much of your day, but I saw that you guys were expanding as well. I've been seeing posts from, I guess, from your page and from the PopCom page that you guys are expanding. So talk about expanding and looking for new team members and things like
that. We're definitely hiring. We're hiring a full stack developer. We're hiring an office manager since our office manager is going to grad school.
Yeah.
We're hiring 2 new salespeople that we basically already have picked and hiring them. We are hiring, what's the other role that's open? A head of hardware.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a lot of the great things. We're hiring for some what you call it, customer success. So like the people that wants to make sure the customers are happy and they have what they need. So yeah, we're growing. We're definitely growing.
I have a solution for you as well with that. I'm part of a company called Locomotives. I don't know if you know Lincoln Stevens from the Marcus Graham Project, but we basically have a staffing firm, but a black-owned staffing firm. Times like these, so I'll make sure and email you over some.
Yeah, please. I can connect you with my head of HR. So
Yeah.
she handles all that. I cannot imagine doing everything that I do and then doing the hiring. So
Yeah, sure,
I'm very
absolutely.
grateful to have her. Someone asked me, which is funny, what was a prayer you prayed for your husband? You know, I have never in my life prayed for a man. I just, it wasn't my thing. I really just always pray to be the best me I can be and just make me the highest, best version of myself that I can be, and make me just the kind of person that attracts abundance and attracts great people. And that's what it is. It's really praying for someone to come to your life, or praying. You may not even be the person yet that warrants that type of person.
You may
So
not be
I
ready.
believe like self-development, really doubling down on self-care, self-development, personal growth is how I really brought everything into my life that I have.
Yeah, and to piggyback, okay, we're in that conversation now. So to piggyback off of that, talk about making it work with being an entrepreneur, and also, meeting and dating and things like that. Because, that's another thing. Like when you're an entrepreneur, like it can be round the clock meetings or round the clock
Yeah.
trips and things like that. So talk about balancing the work life with that.
I don't even believe there's a true balance where it's like 50-50 balance. It's like you have to pick each day what takes priority and precedence. And sometimes it's your work that's a priority, and sometimes it's your family. You have to just make sure that everyone feels like their needs are being met. And my husband's an entrepreneur. He's a software engineer. He has several businesses. He has 3 actually, and so do I. So we that's how we understand each other. And it's important to be with someone that understands you and is also aligned with the goals you have for your life and can help you further those goals individually, and then have your own goals as a couple. But prior to him, I wasn't really a dater. I just really enjoyed my single life. I traveled a lot. I've lived in many cities, and I actually never thought I would ever get married. I never wanted to get married. And so, but I just met a person that just, obviously I love him, of course, but from what I've seen over my life, it's not love that keeps people together. People love each other and they get a divorce or don't get along. It's really about being aligned spiritually and goals wise and what you want to do with your life. So yeah, someone said equally yoked. Certainly that's a real thing. And so that's why we decided to get married, because we just felt that we could enhance each other's lives so much and help each other meet our goals faster. So that's why.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, thank you so much for being on the show. So for So for people that want to connect, whether it's connecting with you or connecting with your brands, please, tell the people how to do so.
Yeah, definitely. You can, obviously we're here on Instagram. You follow me here. I'm very active on LinkedIn, Twitter, all under Dawn Dickson, Facebook. And we'll be raising money again. I can't say when, but it will happen again. Obviously, we have to raise more money at some point. And if you're interested in investing, go to popcom.shop/invest, lowercase I, invest. And you'll be notified when our round opens up. So that's it. I've been very active on Medium and posting blogs and content. So if you're interested in crowdfunding, please read my blogs. And I'm also launching an online course on crowdfunding, and that'll be launching in October. So we're doing some pre-sales right now for that as well. So been busy.
And what platform did you, as far as your funding, was that through Start?
I use Start Engine for my funding. Right now, my round is closed on Start Engine, and so there's no more opportunity to sign up for the wait list. But you can sign up for our own wait list on our website, popcom.shop/invest. But we did use Start Engine, and I really I like it. And yes, Dana, PopCom has some fly merch, and we have the merch shop. So yeah, check out our merch shop. You can see it on our PopCom Instagram. You can check out our merch.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm definitely going to sign up for the next time to invest, and I'm going to, and hopefully y'all got my size and my color. You know,
all
what I'm saying?
Sizes, yes.
Merch, and I'm gonna buy some merch today too. So.
Thanks. All right.
Yeah.
Great to talk to you. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. So.
Yeah, if there's anything that I can do for you as far as getting the word out on anything like that, please definitely let me know. And it's so great to connect with you again. And I really appreciate your time.
You as well. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.